So it's Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 2, a game that Arsenal needed to win to at least cut the gap between them and league leaders Liverpool, who had won their game against Brentford earlier on during the day. And this adds to the frustration of many Arsenal fans. 2 goals up. You cannot keep a lead at home at Emirates. You give Aston Villa 2 goals, and then it starts. It all of a sudden starts to fall apart. Frustration after frustration. What is the strategy of this club? Looking at the bench itself, you look at the bench. You don't look at the bench and see anybody who can come in and make something happen. The only player who was on the bench who could at least do something is Raheem Sterling, who is a reject from Chelsea. No disrespect to this guy, but what is the intention of this football club? Why is it that we are always short? Villa did a double last season against Arsenal. Seems that we don't learn. We do not learn. A game that we were 2 goals up and everything looked okay, controlling the game very well, and all of a sudden we capitulate. How much more should Arsenal fans endure? Because it's now becoming unsustainable. Manchester City, who knew they had problems in the attack, Manchester City, who knew they had problems in their team, have gone out, have secured 3 signings already this season, this transfer window, and they're again not yet done. Fabrizio Romano just said that they are going for a 4th player. But look at Arsenal. They're so satisfied with the kids on the bench. Looking at that bench, Aston Villa could look at Duran, they could look at Bailey to change the game. But Arsenal, who was there? They could not risk any substitution because there was no one in that bench. And that tells you how much this team values their fans. Not good enough. Never good enough. Defense, look at what happens when one of the defense partners is not around. Thomas Partey should not be playing at right back. The second goal came because he had gone up front. The second goal came because it was far up the pit. The first goal came when Thomas Partey had gone up the pitch, and he could not return in time. What a shambolic performance! A time when everyone had thought that this is the time now we were gonna close the gap against Liverpool. Yes, it was 7 points, but this is not the way we capitulate and draw points, especially when we are in a title race. I don't know what Mikel Arteta and the hierarchy are thinking of, because the song has always been, get a striker, get a winger. So far, 2 weeks to the end of the transfer window, nothing has happened. Nothing completely has happened. Then when you look at the team, you sometimes wonder, we're only depending on Lewis Carey, who is just 18, to play all games. We don't have any able substitutions at this moment in time, and it's so frustrating. Liverpool will be smiling. Liverpool will be smiling wherever they are, whenever. This is not good enough. This cannot be good enough. This is the 3rd competitive game we have played against Aston Villa, and we cannot beat Aston Villa. Last season, they did a double against Arsenal. This season, they have drawn a game that we were comfortably winning. All eyes have to be with Arteta right now. Kai Havertz is not the guy. Yes, he scored, but how many chances must he miss for him to score? Look at what Ollie Watkins did. One chance, bang, goal. That is the end of the game. How many times, how many seasons should Arsenal play without a proven goal scorer? The squad is now thin, no substitutions. We have to overplay players. We have to force players to play in positions which are not natural for them. And so frustrating. I'm really gutted because any hope we had for the trophy, for the Premier League this season is already gone, already kicked out of FA by Manchester United. Carabao almost getting kicked off, or almost getting kicked out, and we are just hanging there. Go out there, Mikel Arteta. Go out there, get two wingers, get a striker. Then we can start talking. Otherwise, these things we are seeing here looks like a curse. Whenever we have little hope of the title, somehow things have to happen in this club, and all the hopes start dwindling, and we start thinking of next season. Signed Zubimendi for next season, but we are playing in this season. The team is way too thin. What is the solution? We have two weeks to make things right. Frustrating, but again, that's football. Mr. Evening was sacked for less, and I always maintain this guy always comes to Arsenal or plays with Arsenal with that mind he was sacked for less. And whoever was hired to replace him is not good enough. Not good enough.